Here we go with day one afternoon session. Just jumping on the tyre. Really liking jumping on the tyre at the moment. It's actually helped me a lot with my weight transitioning when developing power with punches and elbows and stuff like that, which is obviously going to carry over into everything else, so that's pretty good. But yeah, straight into sparring today. Boxing sparring it is. Just kicking it off, sparring with Ross here. We always have a good little battle. Starting to feel a little bit better when boxing sparring. Just basically having a bit of head movement and moving around and just changing and tricking things and doing things a little bit differently. So I'm just sort of not standing there like a sitting duck, basically. You know, so being tall and stuff like that, there's always going to be guys that are just so much more nimble than me. So, you know, any little bit of head movement I can add in, which is good. But simultaneously, you want to stay tall as well. You know, I'm not going to duck and weave and bob and go all the way down to their level. I want to, you know, use what I got as well. So I'm just trying to find a balance between being tall and weaving at the minute. It's getting better. Fast forward now to a little bit of a partner swap, just over in the back there with Lucky. Got Ross and Fuji in the front. These are actually 5-minute rounds. I didn't even notice that till recently. I just having too much bloody fun, to be honest. But yeah, 5-minute rounds. We normally do 4 in Australia, or at least at Steel Muay Thai we do. So yeah, 5 minutes is a really nice time to do anything, whether it's pads or whatever. I think it gives you a sense of starting to get into it, running into some problems when you're into it, and then solving the problems as well. And then it also gives you a little bit of, you know, burnout. You get to that point where you're like, man, this is screwed. When's it over? And then you've sort of still got another minute, so you got to keep going. That's yeah, I really like having that. So 5-minute rounds is good. Definitely worth giving that a go. I'm not really a big fan of shorter rounds. I think it just promotes explosiveness, really, and it creates that sort of mentality where you can sort of give it 100% kind of thing. And yeah, like I've said in the last video, it's just not reality. You're just not 100% when you fight. I think it's better to get in the deep water and see how you are when you're, you know, technique's struggling, I feel like. So yeah, the longer the better. I mean, time and a place for both. There's definitely time and a place for both. But for problem solving at least, and, you know, the longer the round, the better. Give them a chance to figure out what you're doing, and then they overcome it. And then you have to build off of what they've just built off of you. So it's, yeah, it's good. Another partner swap again. So this is Fuji, Kuyo's son. As you probably just heard, Kuyo was telling me I can go a little bit harder because I was tapping him, but I really like the way he spars. He sort of doesn't do a whole lot. He's working on his defense here, his head movement, and you can just see the cogs ticking. Like, he's starting to watch and analyze and see what you're doing, and then he just goes boop, 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 and he starts to capitalise and he hits his shots. And it's a really nice way to spar. It's, you know, so, but I picked that up actually when we were sparring, and you can sort of see when people's minds are boggling and they're that type of person. So I was just making sure that I threw everything different. I didn't throw two things the same, because he would figure me out. And that's, you know, if you're a beginning, a good little rule is to not throw things 3 times in a row, because people will figure it out. And as you get better and better, you start to throw things once, twice, or, you know, and same defensively, you know, if somebody's throwing something over and over again, you know you can exploit it. So then you can start to play a little bit of games, you know, you might throw a jab, and the next time you throw a jab, then you throw a feint jab and something else kind of thing, and you start to build off of that, and then you get this little game going, and you're just keeping their central nervous system on fire pretty much with guessing. But yeah, as I said, all in all, really nice spar here. At the end of this round, he opened up on some beautiful body shots, and you could just feel the technique, the way it followed through from his knuckles, and it sunk right in. It was excellent. Take notice of this upcoming movement that happens between us. That right there was the best feeling in the world. Basically, I sort of threw a bit of a cross at him. He slipped under, threw the overhand, which I slipped. Then I pivoted and threw a body shot. And then he slipped the body shot with beautiful footwork also. And we kind of just looked at each other as if to say, like, damn, that was badass. So I love when you get them moments. It's just friggin' awesome, and even better to catch it on camera. Bit more pad work. Apologies for the sun. Didn't even take any notice of that when I set the camera up. Oh, and the dog. But basically just doing some 1-2s here. And just sort of getting my height in me. Trying to find the right length to be in the back and stuff like that. And yeah, it's starting to feel good. Everything's starting to feel good. The punches are starting to get there. The relaxation's coming out. Thailand, you know, training in Thailand at the extent that you do it really molds, it almost like shaves off your edges in a sense. Like you start to get so relaxed when you're shadow boxing and everything. Your joints start to fly. You know, everything starts to move smooth and quick like butter. And I think it's just a combination of 1, training so much, 2, being fatigued, and 3, probably just knowing that you don't have to be anywhere for the next couple months. You're just sort of over there doing one thing only. Just kind of fast forwarded it here to a point that the sun's actually gone down enough to I can actually see the camera. So it didn't capture much, unfortunately. Alrighty, that's pads done. Over the bag now. Drilling is more of the same, obviously. If you haven't worked it out by now, Muay Thai is very monotonous. And if you want to get good, you got to drill the same stuff over and over and over again. You know. Personally, I like to drill about 3 different things at a time, whether it be one thing a day, or then the next day I might do something else, or sometimes I'll even drill 3 things in the one day, but I kind of just get good at one and revert back to the others and just sort of go around the trifecta, really. This is how I progress personally. Into the clinching as always. Ross has got a fight coming up soon, so I spent a fair amount of time with him clinching. But yeah, everything's sort of feeling better. Clinching's feeling better. It's been good. I'm starting to feel like I'm doing better at the knees. My toes and ankles are getting stronger, although they're sore. They're still getting, everything seems to be feeling good. And I can honestly say I'm feeling a lot of progression, and I'm feeling a lot of, I guess, I've had a lot of opportunities to learn new things, a lot of progress in the things I'm currently doing as well. So, more often than not, the people that are really good are just better at executing the fundamentals, and that's what's happening for me at the moment. Is I'm getting the chance to get better at the things that I already know and get deeper into, fine-tuning them. Final bit of conditioning for the day, doing the neck exercises. You can see my neck thickening up a bit of sit-ups here, teeps on the bag, everything like that. And yeah, that concludes it. That is day number 1 of week 3. So stay tuned for the next one, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe.